We're back with Marc Silber as he reviews more photos from the AYP Club community.
All right, here's a really interesting one. This is from Roberto Ojeda. Probably my best street photograph. Did well in contests and was printed in UK and US magazines. Got lucky that day. It's not photoshopped. The facade of a building window is convex.
Oh wow! My first thought was a composite of.
That was my first thought
Yeah, I thought
too.
it was a composite. Maybe not even. I didn't even think Photoshop. I just thought you took a bunch of prints, um, and paste basically glued them together. David Hockney actually developed that style, and that's what I thought it was, where he would go out with a single camera and just take a whole slew, a whole bunch of different images, and then pasted them together. That's what you've mimicked, and it's really interesting. So this is a window reflection, really?
Yep, building reflection because the windows are convex. So
That.
that's what's
Oh, I
creating
see. Wow,
that
well
effect.
done. What a great.
I can
uh,
see why it got printed in magazines.
yeah. I mean, you made it really easy compared to what David Hockney had to do, but it's got the same effect, and I love it. You found a natural way to break things in. Talk about frames within frames. There's all these frames here. That's brilliant. Excellent. I mean, I wish when I know I really see something and I wish I had been able to capture it. That's when I get really jealous. But then that's great. Well done.
Yeah. All right. This one is from Anderson Santana. He had posted this one and he said, looking for some feedback from and thoughts from the community on this image. I found the similarity between the man and the shapes of the box to his left very interesting. Made it on a street photography session in Tokyo.
Yeah, that is interesting. And how you framed it is really great because you've got it between these different boxes. This, the diagonal lines, we know that adds vitality. We know, yeah, who is this photographer again?
This photographer, I think what they were asking for was the previous
Oh,
photographer.
I see. Okay.
The previous photographer was it was Roberto Odija.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
perfect, Lorraine. Thank you so much. Lorraine
Yeah.
already put it in for us. So
All right.
Roberto Odija.
Yeah, good job, Roberto. Anyway, so you've got a story going on here, and it's obviously COVID. The guy is framed again, really well between here. I think it is interesting, you know, the contrast between the various elements here, but also, yeah, there's a little bit of a similarity. Like this looks like legs. I mean, it is kind of amusing, isn't it? This looks like a mechanical version of this guy here. It's very clever. Good job with that. That's really awesome.
All right, our next one. This is from Chad Tobin, and no caption with it.
That's a home run. Okay. Um, what I do when I look at a photograph is it's just what does it tell me right off the bat, and what am I seeing? What's my first thought? Okay, so you've got all kinds of cool things going on with the rain, and the umbrella. There's my center of attention. She's looking at the camera. She's COVID. All this background, it's like stuff is going on back here. Where is this? Um, I want to
I'm
say
not. I'm
San
not sure.
Francisco, but I don't know if it is. Anyway, probably not. But it works beautifully, and you're black and white. Bingo. What can I say? It's really works. The eye connection, yeah. To me, that's what really like seals the deal for me. And all these interesting things behind here. It's got frames within frames. We've got this kind of stuff over here. We've got people, back here with umbrellas. But she's like right there, front and center, looking right at us. Can't miss her. There's a story. Good job. All
All
right.
right. Our next one is Senk. 90-year-old and deaf grandma still working. The method: thread the chilies onto a string and let them dry out for about 4 weeks.
Wow. What a job. Okay, lots of, strong colors. That's a great compositional element. Um, the chilies in the foreground, chilies in the background, and the grandma in the middle. I'm hungry. I'm wanting something a little bit more out of her though, and I think it's just a question of what other frames did you have? Like if she looked at you, or I mean, she looks obviously there's something going on with her, but it's not quite a completed thought for me. It doesn't quite the message isn't quite there, and I would just say keep shooting, or if you did keep shooting, maybe just take a look. And is there one where she looked at the camera or towards the camera, or was she gesturing in some way? I'd either like to see like a punctuation point or a gesture, or really, I think having her look at the camera would be great. So a lot of times, guys, it's just keep shooting. You hear Bob Holmes say that. You got to just be patient. Unless you want to direct her, I mean, you could say, hello. I'm not recommending that. It's patience. Sometimes you have to wait and just hang out, keep shooting the photographs until, just that right moment. This goes back to a decisive moment. Maybe she's lifting something. Maybe she's looking. You've got the scene all set. Just wait for that next moment.
This one is from Darren, and it is taken in a New York subway. I believe it was like Light and Shadow, I think was the title of this one.
Very interesting. I mean, this is the center of the frame, and it really draws our eye right to it because of the leading lines from the escalator. And then we have another frame over here with the woman in the escalator. It's very interesting. You've got these lights and whatnot. My only little tiny thing, I would love it, since we have this person here, I would love it if there was just a little more of a punctuation point. She is kind of herself a punctuation point. You've got a perfect place to just keep shooting, because this guy isn't going anywhere. None of this stuff is going anywhere. The things that are going to change are the people going down the escalator. I assume it's down. I mean, it looks like she has her back to us. So you could just keep, shooting photographs until you got a little more of a punctuation point, some motion, some separation of her leg, arms going up. But look, you've got yourself in this ideal spot. Just keep photographing until one of these subjects pops for you. There you go.
Our next one is from Johan, and this was one that he took up in the Alps of Austria.
I mean, that's a beautiful place. I'd love to be there. It looks like even kind of right about now, maybe, with the first snowfall. We've got interesting, craggy mountain here, and then there's the center of interest right there. Is this lodge, hut, whatever? Not hut, but hotel, and then slight little S curve here, with the road around it. So it works really well. I mean, as a landscape photograph, it's got interesting elements in it. This, it's another diagonal line here, which is interesting. It doesn't pull me away from, the basic center of interest. I would just wonder if you were to move in closer, frame this a little more prominently, because this is going to be, to me, the center of interest. I'd say this is your strongest part. The mountains are interesting, but they're a backdrop. This, I don't feel like that adds to the image. I would walk over here somewhere, like right about there. Just keep moving in towards it. And again, Nothing is going to go away. So you just keep moving until you find it. Just keep moving around. And you've got a beautiful stage there. Just take different angles until one just really pops out. Maybe a really low angle here, where you crouch down really low and you're looking up at this end. So just a variety of frames, a variety of angles, and you'll find the one that really jumps out. Okay.
All right.
Hope you guys are enjoying this, and I hope it's helpful. And please, again, take my comments as you can take it or leave it. Mark isn't anybody you necessarily need to listen to. I'm just going to give you what I consider are points that you could use to improve your images.
We hope that you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a like and leave a comment. We love to hear from you. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you can know when all of our future videos come out. And finally, be sure to get out there and capture your own images of life.